Let me say this. You know that you are chosen and you know you are different when people try to attack you for being who you are, for being what you do, for being who you are and what you do. Like, I can recall when I was working in the salon and this woman, the owner of the salon, we were connecting and we had similarities. She was all telling me how she also was experiencing some of the things that I experienced in the salon. So we had a lot of similarities, physical realm. So we do things according to the Lord, and everyone else does things according to the world's ways. Because again, we are in this world, but we are not of the world. So the way we do things are going to be contradictory or opposite of what the world does, and almost it's a given that almost anyone who's not operating truly under God's divineness, God's light, they're going to look at you weird and say that you're doing things wrong when all you're doing is things according to the Lord, because that's who you are. You're chosen. You're divine. So you're doing things out of divineness. And everyone else is doing things out of the worldliness. That's why it says, be not conformed to the world's ways, but be renewed, be changed by the renewing of your mind. So your mind has to be renewed. So once your mind is renewed, and once you do things differently from the renewed sense of mind, you're doing things more like the Lord would do things, and how the Lord wants you to do things, as opposed to the world's ways. That's how you can tell the difference between people who are chosen and are really walking in God's divine light, and those who are of the world, because the world's ways are going to be 100% different, and counteractive to what God's ways are, and they're going to look at you like, automatically they're going to tell you things like you're doing it wrong, or that ain't how you're supposed to do it, or that's not of God. They're going to come against you because you're doing things the way God instructed you to do it. You're doing things the way your beingness, this is your beingness, and you're doing things according to who you are, and they're going to be looking at you like, no, that ain't, no. They're going to automatically come against you and think that it's wrong, because again, everybody else is doing it over here, and you're the only one that's over here. Or you may got two more, three, or maybe a very, very a small few of you who's doing it like this over here, and they're like, they're looking at you like, well, if it's, they think that because it's more over here and less over here, that means you automatically are doing something wrong. But no. If you see if you see less people doing something, or you're the only one over here doing something, then not majority of the times that's the right way to do it, because majority, they're not are going to be doing the same thing. When you're not like everyone else, your path is going to be different, and they're not going to understand it, and they're going to judge it, they're going to make fun of it, they're going to say it's wrong, they're going to be like, no, that ain't of God. They're going to say all kind of things. But do not worry, do not fret. That is just because they are not chosen. They have not yet renewed their minds. They're not doing things according to the Lord's standards. They're doing things according to the world's standards. And that's what's making you guys different. And I know that that's because, again, like I said, the salon owner, when I was working with her, she changed up on me so quickly. And I was like, and then she said so much, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. And she turned around and did exactly what she said she wasn't going to do, because she saw, the more I was working with her, that I am not like her, like she thought I was. And she became just like those people who treated both her and I, the same way that she said she wouldn't do. And I'm just like, yeah, you are not like me, and they're not like us. They're not like us. They're not like us. That's the truth. They're not. And don't ever fret or feel like, oh, you got to be like other people, or you're doing something wrong. No, you're not doing nothing wrong. Stay on that track. You're doing the right thing because you're chosen. You're called to do things differently on purpose by God. Have a blessed day, guys.